Clint, you guys are working on Far Cry 2.
That's right.
Now, you're going so far beyond the first Far Cry that I don't even know where to start. Can you talk about first the technology that you guys have built from the ground up for this game?
Sure. Well, we started with a core technology team almost 2 years ago. The numbers fluctuated, but we've been running around 30 guys on that team, just building an engine bottom up to deliver, most importantly, a fully open world where we're not loading, we're just streaming all the content in, an open world that's 50 square kilometers that the player can go anywhere he wants at any time. That requires building technology from the bottom up. You know, Ubisoft doesn't have an in-house engine that can do that. And then with that comes all of these new challenges that you didn't necessarily anticipate. Once you aren't loading levels, then you realize you need to have a 24-hour day-night cycle because you don't have that luxury of going, oh, now it's level load, now it's 9 o'clock at night. Level load, now it's 6 o'clock in the morning. You have to run time 24 hours a day. We built RealTree, which is a system for making all of our trees fully dynamic and fully interactive. Now every tree, every branch on every tree, every leaf on every branch can be shot off with pixel accuracy from whatever weapon you happen to be using. Grass that blows in the wind all the way out to the horizon. And real grass, not simulated fake grass. Grass that's physically responsive, that can catch on fire, propagate fire. Fire can catch up into the trees, burn the branches off, you can shoot them off, spread the fire. So really all of this dynamic stuff has to work together in the engine in order to maintain that sort of high level of immersiveness and realism that Far Cry demands as a brand in order to put that in an open world. Cool. So big team, big ambition for that.
Right. So the AI is another thing that you guys are really pushing boundaries on, like just the free-form nature of it, the fact that it's going to do all kinds of things you don't expect. Can you give us more background on that, and then maybe anecdotally tell us just some of the crazy things that you've seen happen in the game already?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, I spent so long working on Splinter Cell where the AI is pretty good, but definitely scripted all the time. And in this, you can't script the AI. Like I said, the world's totally open. The AI has to be autonomous in that world. I come to a camp, the guy can't be standing at the same point guarding every single time I come there in an open world. They have to live in that camp. They have to go and eat. They have to sleep at night. They have to start the fires at night. They have to kick them out in the morning. They have to, you know, respond to checkpoints and vehicle patrols and deal with all that stuff. And they have to be able to fight in a world that's totally destructible. How do we take cover, you know, behind this wall if this wall got blown apart? It's always different every time you come to a new area. You know, some of my favorite things are just like, you know, running into a camp, knowing you're outgunned, maybe grabbing a vehicle to get out of there, like you saw that in the demo, and they immediately jump in their own vehicle. Maybe the driver decides to gun it. Maybe if there's someone calling for him, he'll wait for a gunner to hop in the back, and they'll come chasing after you, try to ram you off the road. The gunner's like driving beside you, pumping rounds into your engine block. You know, it's not like you know, it's not really cartoony where the vehicles go boom and pop up in the air. Like the vehicle will break down long before it explodes. They'll force you out into the grass somewhere, drive you off the road into a ditch, hop out themselves, and now you're in a foot battle running around the wreckage of your smoking car. So, you know, they think on their feet, and they're fast and they're dangerous. It's really cool.
Cool. So how about the friendly AI? What are your buddies going to do for you when you get in a tight spot?
Right, so we have, one of the main things in the story is that you don't play a particular character. We have this pantheon, if you want, of what we call the buddies. And there's between 12 and 14, we haven't locked down the final number yet. And you choose your avatar from the photo library and dossiers of these buddies. And the buddy you choose gets removed from the game. And the other ones get populated into the game world where they live and act as autonomous agents. They take their own missions, they have their own objectives. They're living in the world, they can give you missions. They can help you with your missions. When I go and take a mission for a warlord in order to try and find some information to complete my own major objectives, one of the buddies might be involved, and he might say, you know, you got this objective, but maybe you should think about doing this or that, and if you want to try it this way, I can give you a hand. But once a buddy starts becoming involved, he becomes in jeopardy. You know, once a buddy is in play, he's just like any other AI. He can be killed, he can go down in battle. So you're going to build real relationships with these characters, right? These guys aren't scripted characters that you see in cutscenes. He's not your buddy because I told you in the opening cinematic he's your friend. You got these characters, you save their lives, they say thank you, you know, let's have a drink sometime. You go and talk with them, they tell you some of their story, they say we can work together, you want to hang out, whatever. If you do, they'll become more and more your friend, they'll be more and more there for you, but at the same time you're going to have to be more and more there for them or they're going to die.
Cool. So this is kind of counter to the typical Ubisoft strategy, but you guys are only making this for one platform, the PC.
Yeah.
First of all, what was behind that decision? And then since it is just a PC game and such an ambitious one, what kind of rig are you going to need to run this thing?
Yeah, well, we're coming out PC exclusive, and that was our mandate from the beginning. I think Ubisoft really wants to say, like, hey, you know, we are a top-tier PC developer, and we want to focus as well on that audience as the other audiences, you know, the console audiences, the casual audience. We really want, you know, to be in every segment, and we really want to give games to all kinds of gamers, for sure. The technical question. So while it's true the version you saw right now is running on a pretty souped-up dual-core, I think, with an 8800 in there, it's a pretty good, it's a high-end gaming rig, but you can buy it right now. That's our sort of near to high-end version. We've already started development on our Vista and DX10 version, so we will have a higher end version with more features to extend the time frame and the viability of the product over a couple of years. You know, that's part of the Far Cry brand too, is that the title has to be playable 4 years from now when you finally, you know, get that PC you've always dreamed of. You got to have a great game to play on it. And then of course we're also working on getting our lower end version. So the plan is to be able to give you this game on a really powerful single core with a good graphics card, which is in first quarter of next year. So there will be a reasonable min spec, and there will be some very nice features on the very high-end DX10 version.
Cool. So finally, you mentioned it's going to be out early next year. What stage of development are you guys in right now, and how much more crazy stuff are you going to cram in there before you lock down the features?
So we're pre-alpha. I mean, I've been in conception and then pre-production and technology development on this with the core team for more than 2 years. But we just came out of production pre-production about 3 months ago. We're going to hit alpha. I can't remember now. I don't even remember what day it is. But we're going to hit alpha 2 to 3 months from now, something like that. And like I said, we're out for first quarter 2008. Well, new features that we're going to try and get in. Frankly, a large part of our core feature set is locked down. We still have to build in support for how we build all the side missions. We still have to put in some scripting support in order to how the missions are delivered and how you have conversations with the warlords and stuff like that. That kind of stuff. But in terms of just pure features, a lot of the stuff is in there. We have to put in a bunch more weapons. We got about half of the weapons in the game in, but it's all coming in very, very quickly. It'll all be there for alpha. So most of the stuff you've seen, you're going to see in various degrees of polish and various degrees of refinement, again, before we ship. The main thing we have to focus on now is realization. Like you saw the buddy rescue when Marty came to bail Dom out after he got killed there. There are some things in that aren't perfect. When Marty carries you, there's some popping and glitches, and sometimes it feels wooden and mechanical. Like if we want you to believe in that character, if we want you to be like devastated if Marty goes down in the middle of a battle, we need to make him not feel like a robot ever. And most of the time he doesn't. But you know, every now and then there's a little pop or a little weirdness. We got to polish all of that out of there and get a really, really polished, clean, real character who you believe in, or else it's not going to work. So that's what we're doing up until beta.
Excellent. All right, Clint, thanks a lot. The game looks great. Can't wait to see it.
Cool, man. Thanks for coming.
All right, that's it for now from Leipzig. I'll see you guys soon.